Welcome to Meet the Polymaker, everyone. I am your host, Joel, and we are in for yet another show, episode 101. It's counting down. So many back-to-back that you guys have all supported. Greatly appreciated. And for those that may be new or newer here, we do talk about some 3D printing news. We share some awesome prints from our community, shared over on our Discord at discord.polymaker.com. Join if you haven't already. We do giveaways. We share awesome stuff. Great knowledge, amazing support from many people from many different facets of the 3D printing world. So come join us if you haven't there yet. But then ultimately we meet the next maker every single week. We have a new guest, whether it be someone within the industry, someone doing some awesome projects, someone maybe organizing, helping organize really crazy events, such as today's guest, BexiBeans. We'll talk with her about what events she's associated with here shortly. But until that point, let's talk about the news. And first up, we have AnyShape that is in the news for producing over 200 3D printed titanium implants in 2025. Mind you, that's only one company. There's been other companies that are doing it also. They just announced their numbers. That is 200, not just printed parts that are just the same thing. These are 200 individual custom implants made for individuals and used in surgery for real medical use. These aren't just parts to display or just a simple metal part. They are printed in titanium, as I said. That's going to be helpful for durability, lightweight, no corrosion inside the body. That would be a bad thing. So no steel used here. That might not be a good thing. But the implants feature an engineered surface texture to allow the bones to actually grow onto them. So it's not just a full replaced bone. It's sometimes parts or pieces, sections, etc. But just amazing that there's 200 custom that are able to greatly reduce turnaround times due to, of course, 3D printing, rapid prototyping, customizations right there. A lot of times on site, if not, it's near on site, and they can get it much quicker than they used to be. So definitely awesome advancements, and we'll see, I'm sure, more numbers being released as we're into the new year. Next up, we have Precision Additive. They are touting right now. It's on a Kickstarter. They're touting I think it's a startup. It's not a Kickstarter. It's a startup. Touting the fastest metal printer. It's not fully produced yet. They're claiming to be around 10 times faster than the current industry leaders, printing at speeds of around 10,000 cubic centimeters per hour. Again, that's through laser powerbed fusion. So it's that powder and the laser 3D printing can make amazing prints very rapidly. They're targeting more high demand sectors like defense, aerospace, energy, and medical, such as the titanium that we just talked about. Will it be successful? I mean, it's not just about the speed, but the consistency, reliability. But it'll be interesting to see how this hits. This is not a consumer. It's not even a prosumer. This is, I don't even know the price tag, but a very pricey printer. But again, going into the industry to improve more stuff that we'll talk about, I'm sure, in future episodes. Next up, we have MIT that is taking plastic waste and converting that into housing frames through, of course, 3D printing. But these are trusses that are used in home building. They can support over 4,000 pounds, which exceeds the US standards. And the trusses could come in weighing at around 13 pounds a piece. So lightweight, super strong. And what they're actually aiming to do is use dirty plastics, so like unwashed bottles, containers, without excessive post-processing. Of course, they can use fresh stuff to help, enhance that material that's being printed. But ideally, if they can just take dirty waste straight up and shred it, however I don't know what the process is, but they'll put it through this extruder to make trusses. They plan on making walls, roof trusses, studs, etc. From all this technology. So just an awesome way to see waste being used, not just thrown into a landfill to rot away or biodegrade to a sense. And next up, we have Creality in the news, not with a new printer, but with a new patent for a filament buffer system. So this, I'm more showing this is not super crazy, wow, and inspiring stuff here, but it's showing that it's not just about going in, innovation through speed, quality of printing. Those are of course much needed. We come to a point now that speed is pretty good where it is. Could it be faster? Sure. But and at this point, there's other things that do need to be looked at of quality of life updates, such as things that prevent snags, print failures, smoother extrusion. That is what this filament buffer is looking to do. It's a telescoping filament buffer. Will it be something they can add on to their current products, or will it be something onto a new product? We're not sure. Maybe even a universal thing. But we've seen the buffers before. The Bamboo Labs have them on the back of them. Most of the stuff with AMSs have a buffer system, but they're very standard. This is again aiming to have longer filament lengths without strain, especially setups with distant spool placement. So if you're far away, that it can take that tension, and again helping with filament snagging, tangles, binding up. So we'll see. Nothing's been released fully. This is just something that someone found online on the patent scope, but we'll see where it goes from here. And last but not least, we have the BBC that is they've already done this, has printed over 700 little metal skiers. This is for an Olympic commercial, for a stop motion commercial, and when they chose to actually use 3D printing to do stop motion as opposed to AI, which of course would have been easier, but they wanted to represent creativity. Let's see here, I had some notes here. I clicked off of it. But yeah, basically capturing real printed figures in a handcrafted set rather than relying on AI or CGI. But again, 700 individually printed step by step. I think the commercial is out now. You might be able to search it. I just search BBC Olympic skier, and it's probably going to pull up. But stop motion, if anybody's ever seen it, it takes a lot. 700 printed pieces. Just cool to see them using that as opposed to taking the easy, cheaper route of AI. So maybe we'll see more of this in the future from not just BBC or the Olympic Committee, but other marketing companies, etc. So we'll see. But that is it for the news, and we're going to head over to Spool to Spotlight to see what you all have been printing. And first up, we have the Sweetfish Kickflip by MZM Designs. This was printed by CGS Creations in what you can assume was the Hedgehog mix, Galaxy Red. Perfect color. They look great, and these are the magnetic little flippers. So we had Mozzie Makes on here a couple weeks ago. Same type of thing that they have. This is just a themed Swedish fish, or sweet fish as it's being labeled to avoid obvious IP, but just a really fun, good print. I love Swedish fish, and I love fidgets, so I might have to print that myself. It is available on MZM Designs Patreon. Next up, we have Dilligaff printing one of 8 million that he's got by now. Chunkables by the Kit Kiln. This is the Aqua Chunk, available on Things. And great color choice. Everything turned out amazing here. So perfect matching of colors for this character. And next up, we have a print by Recryptor, designed by JA2B, which is actually the same person. Actually a 16-year-old taking his dive into modeling. And this is a custom Numworks case. Numworks, I would assume, is a European calculator. We have like Texas Instruments here in the US, but it hold their calculator and a pencil, pen, whatever you like. And it's a nice custom design, print in any color you want, and just awesome to see somebody that's 16 taking on modeling and having something that works, is functional, and looks good. So this is available on Maker World under JA2B. And hey, I think he's planning on a few more models, and he's looking for any inspiration or compliments or even help on the thread. If you go to discord.polymaker.com and our Show Off Prints channel. And next up, we have Tech Jeeper again sharing a snake by MacGyver. We had shared one a couple weeks ago. This is another one in our Starlight Rainbow. He has perfected, he's got a baby belt printer, and he has been printing these snakes out in all of our different gradients, rainbow gradients, and they look amazing. So instead of that top to bottom gradient change, this is along the print. Why we haven't seen it sooner, I don't know. Hats off to Tech Jeeper for nailing it, and they look awesome. This is available on Things as the model. Check out Tech Jeeper on TikTok because he does have some really fun videos. Recently one where the snake is kind of stop motion, I think, actually. So Go check that out. It is a fun watch, and he does a lot of actually really good content. And last but not least, we have Kooky TM printing the Chinese New Year lanterns by D3D on printables. Of course, the Chinese New Year coming up here on February 17th. So just in time to start celebrating. If you want to have these hanging around the home or outside, you know, we have materials that can handle both, whichever way you want to go. But they do look amazing, have a nice glow to them. So if you want to print your own, available on printables. And again, everything shown here you can find over on the Show Off Prints channel and our Discord, where the links are provided for each of those. And we ask, if you share anything yourself, it can be anything. It could be the good, the bad, the ugly. Make sure to provide the link to where that model's available in case you inspire somebody that wants to print the same thing. Even if it's behind a paywall, like I said, we always say share it. And if somebody chooses they want to purchase it, they can do so. So just don't spam if you're the modeler. You can put some stuff up there. But you guys have done really great on that. Look forward to seeing even more awesome prints and designs shared through there for next week's show. We're going to take a commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to talk with our next guest, BexiBeans. So stay tuned.
Imagine owning some of the best songs about 3D printing this Discord has to offer. Polymaker presents 3D Printing Hits by Silverback and Little D, the best renditions of some of the greatest hits of all time. Hits like Hallelujah, Holly Smooth Criminal, All That She Wants Is Another Printer, Print Away,
There you go, print away.
Still the TD1, All About That Bag, No Stabbies, and Polyman.
It's a file tonight. We're all in the mood to see it extrude, 'cause you've got your printer tuned right.
Reserve your CD today with a special TV offer by going to polymaker.com and paying $39.99. Have your credit card ready. Seriously though, this music was a joke. Go buy some Polymaker.
This is Polymax PLA, the toughest PLA in the world, and today we're going to put that to the test. I printed this very mechanical model and we're going to drop it from the 12th floor. You heard me well, the 12th floor. Let's go! Ready for the first drop in 3, 2, 1. Whoa, that's crazy! Not even a scratch! Let's go and check it closer. Not even a single scratch. I dropped it again from the 12th floor and still not a single scratch. Buy your Polymax PLA right now!
Performance may vary depending on users, individual factors, and external conditions. Individual result may vary, not a guarantee of specific outcome. Consult your professional before use. See website for details and limitations. Use responsibly.
Have you had bad customer service with your filament provider? Have you ever gotten a bad spool and never got a response when you emailed the company? Well, that won't ever happen when you reach out to Polymaker. Some people say that no company cares about you. Wrong. 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 If you never got a response after emailing a company that you've worked with in the past, you may be entitled to better customer service. We at Polymaker pride ourselves on good customer service, and we won't ever keep you waiting for a response. Email us now at support@polymaker.com and we'll get back to you within 1 business day. We'll fight for you.
And welcome back to the show, everybody. We are here to talk to the next maker. And this maker, as I mentioned at the start of the show, is gearing up for one of the first events, actually, that we'll be attending as Polymaker here this year. So without further ado, let's welcome in BexiBeans. How's it going?
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on the show. We have plenty to talk about and some upcoming events, I think, that are maybe happening we'll get to. But
yeah, exciting.
yeah, very exciting. But real quick, for those that might not recognize the name or the face, who are you and what do you do?
Hi guys, I'm BexiBeans, and in my day job, I am the head of cosplay and creators for AnimeCon UK. I'm also a full-time cosplayer and a professional performer, so I've been doing this a long time. I have aged rapidly.
Haven't we all? The gray
Oh my
hair
gosh.
stayed all for me, so at least you don't have gray hair, right?
Yeah, you just dye it. You dye it, you'll be fine. You could pull off being a redhead. You'd be great.
There we go. I think I'm not that far off yet, but maybe we'll go with dark red. More towards the black side.
What
Or
about
just-
Polymaker teal though?
Ooh. Polymaker's gonna have to cut a pretty big check for that one.
Yeah.
Not just for the hair dye, but yeah, just for the stress or the emotional distress that it causes. But we'll see. You never know. You never know with the things I do, the things Polymaker does. You could see me show up with some Polymaker teal hair.
I would hate to see that.
Oh yeah. So of course, you said you've been doing the cosplay stuff and everything for quite some time. What really got you started in the cosplay itself, and when did you start?
So I actually went to my first convention when I was 15. And for reference, I am now 30.
Only
so...
5 years ago, right?
I wish. And it was just one of those things where I was typically in the nerdy group of kids at school, and they were going and they were like, you should come. So we went, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so... Wait, you can dress up as things? Wait, hold on. I want to do that. And then the 15 years happened.
And now you're full in. You're not just dipping the toes in. You've already dove in and went to the deep end.
Yeah, 100%. And it's really interesting to come full circle. And now I'm at cons with 15-year-olds coming to me going, how do I put this wig on? And I'm like, come child, I was you once.
Let me
I
show
understand.
you the way. So now, when you went to your very first one, did you dress up, or was it more of just you went as yourself and then found out, okay, this is a little bit more than I thought?
I was 15, which means I was dressed like a goth, as we all were when we were 15. I just wore, like, when you thought you were so cool. I just dressed like that. And it was only when I was there that I saw all of the cosplay. And I saw literally everything, because my only sort of real knowledge of cosplay is that it was specifically anime and manga. But then there were people doing Tomb Raider and Disney. And I was like, oh, wait, hang on a minute. So this isn't actually as restricted as I thought it would be. Yeah, Doctor Who was a huge thing as well. There was tons of that, particularly in the UK. 100%. Like, obviously, I think we're quite proud of that one. That's like our little gem,
It's a global phenomenon now.
Yeah, it was just literally, I just sort of went, let's do it, why not? And the rest is history, as they say, right?
Yeah. So now, of course, when you went there and fell in love and seen what was possible, what was it the next year? How soon was it till you actually went to one in cosplay, and what was that cosplay?
I think it was the following year, and I did a cosplay where I had bought like base clothes and modified them. It's how most of us start, because back then you didn't have you had eBay, but like AliExpress wasn't the way it is now. There aren't a million cosplay things. It was like you just had to get lucky.
Scraps or spend a lot of money.
Yeah. So I basically got a prom dress off of eBay, and I changed it into a Dalek dress. So it was like a princess Dalek. And that is what I did. And I was like, like 16, might have been more towards 17. I think it was the latter half of the year. And I wore it and I loved it. And I was thinking about this costume the other day, because I was like, oh my God, if I'd had a 3D printer to make the gun, I made the gun out of flipping straws. Like, there was nothing.
You didn't have with then. 3D printing wasn't as prominent.
No.
It was more probably what foam craft, cardboard craft, and just whatever you found around the house.
Even with the foam, like we didn't have foam. Do you remember like when you kids get the little heart shaped things? Like that's all it
Oh,
was.
like the
There
soft,
wasn't,
yeah, the very
yeah,
thin
there
little.
was nothing. So it was, I got like some oven baked clay to make the little dome bit round the bottom, and then yeah, it was flipping straws. I was so proud of it at the time, and now I look back and I'm like, what on earth were you thinking? Like,
Well, you used what you had available, and like
Exactly.
you said too, is anything that you could even find online at that time. I'm sure since it was so limited, it was super expensive, especially
Yeah.
if it was in any type of quality.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, not everything is, I think something that a lot of people miss is, whilst we can get relatively good shipping from China to the UK, still back then shipping from the US to the UK was a fortune. So like when people are going, oh, look at these cosplayers in Dragon Con, it was like, yeah, nice to be them, isn't it? So what do you want me to do? I'm 17 with my pocket money. I don't know what you want me to do, babes.
Oh yeah, that's the thing is I've never been. This is actually going to be the first con that I've actually ever been to. So obviously, if those that don't know, AnimeCon is coming up, which we'll talk about. We'll be there, but I've always seen the pictures, and just to see some of the work and the detail and the what I assume is quite a bit of money on some of these, even with 3D printing involved, is insane what some people invest in these things. But I'm very interested in seeing, like I said, is even though I'm not huge into anime and don't know a lot about it, is I can't wait just to see the things. Number one, the things I do recognize, but then also just learning more, because that's what I've done in the last couple of events where, like Adepticon, I've never done tabletop gaming. Just taking that culture in, and it's just amazing, the creativity and the passion people have for things. And I have no doubt AnimeCon is going to be the same thing, just people full of passion and wanting to do amazing designs.
One of the things that we've always had from any of our voice actor guests who are predominantly American is that the British con scene is completely different. People are going to be so excited to see you and see the stuff you've got, and they're more than happy to get involved in things like that, and just they'll love it, honestly.
And that's, of course, we love to reach out and find new creators and new ways to see the filament used, and that's where too is cosplay isn't just the artistic side of things. That's of course a really cool part of it, but it's functionality. I mean, you got to wear those things for hours, and I've seen some like where people are just walking like a robot, even though they're not dressed as a robot. And it's like you gotta take into account the comfort of everything, and that's I think just a lot goes into it.
It does. It's the amount of times I've seen people and they start the day and they got their high heels on, and I'm like, I'll see you again at lunchtime when you've got a blister.
Yeah. Bandages or gauze wrapped around their ankles and their heels.
Yeah. I can say it because it used to be me, right? Like I used to do that. I think we all did. We went through that phase in our teenage years where we were like, I'm indestructible, I can do this. And now I'm like, do you know what? I think I'm all right. I think I'll just sit here with my slippers on.
I'll take function over fashion, right?
100%.
So now, of course, with all the cosplay stuff too, is 3D printing has taken it to a whole nother level. But even with that too, is when we talk about the comfort and everything, some of these are like enclosed now that there's suits and there's helmets and everything. Do you see a lot of different like cool new ways of people doing like ventilation and fans and cooling? I've seen, like,
definitely
jackets before, like the ice jackets or something.
Yes, I've worn an ice jacket before when I've been Piece of Rabbit, so for like mascot performing. So like, there's a lot of crossover in that. But yeah, I've seen some really cool things where people have even just plugged in a battery fan to a mini power bank, and they've just, I don't know, taped it into the helmet for the day and things like that. I've got a friend who's got an Iron Man suit that takes 3 of us 20 minutes to bolt him into it, but he's always fine. I don't know how. It's really great. And to see some of the other ways that people just craft in general, people have gone back to papier mâché and things like that, and I'm like, this makes me so happy, because sometimes when you get older in cosplay, you sit there and go, oh, kids these days, they don't know how easy they got it.
Back in the day, back in my
day. And then someone turns up going, I did papier mâché, and I'm like, yes, shake my hand. Yes.
So with that too is I'm sure with you going to these cons much more than I, do you see a lot now? Of course, again, 3D printing is huge now, but do you see a lot of mixed media between like 3D printing, foam, cardboard, paper mache, whatever else, leathercraft? You see that all kind of mending into a lot of these costumes?
Absolutely. And I have the privilege of I've been a judge for a lot of cosplay competitions, and so I have judged everything from the 15-year-old me to the 30-year-old international, I've woven my own fabric from plants I've grown in my garden, which is literally no word of a lie. I do know someone who grew their own cotton plant to do a competition. I've never gone that far, I should point out.
That's dedication.
Yeah, and I think
insanity.
also one of the things, one of the things we see a lot, I would say particularly in the UK scene, is a huge amount of upcycling and recycling.
Okay.
I think we're very like that culturally. So I remember somebody did a cosplay of Rafiki from the Lion King musical, and I was judging it, and he had some bits that were 3D printed, like he had the claws and things on his feet 3D printed, but everything else was like, he was like, yeah, so I got this jumper from Vinted for £1, and then this was my mum's old skirt. And honestly, it was just the funnest judging. Yeah, and it was like, and you know what? Why not? Because I'm very passionate that although obviously I do cosplay judging and I do compete myself, like, yes, there's room for being, it has to be done this way at that level. Yeah. Also,
cookie
like,
cutter in a good way, but
yeah. But if you're just cosplaying at a con, who says that you have to do it one way or the other? Like, I just want you to be comfy, and I just want you to, be all right. Like, yeah, exactly.
That's the thing too, is just the creativeness that goes into it. Is, every event I'm sure that you go to is you see a new way, and I've talked about this with 3D printing. Is I've been to a lot of events. Every event I still see something new, whether it's even if it's not a new product or a new release of something, a new way that they're using 3D printing and things, or maybe this technology or this type of 3D print, but they're using it in a weird, crazy way, but it works. I'm sure you've seen that. Of like, I would have never thought about that, but there's no real, you have to do it this way. Do it, come up with it, and I think that's where I've seen too in cons of photos and videos is the same with the character. You don't have to be the exact character. I mean, we've seen the gender swap characters. What is it? I want to say remix or blending of different characters. Half this, half that, and no, I think it's I'm many of one of many of the aspects I'm very excited to see in person, just how people come up with these things and talking with them. Like I said, it's just learning that culture is going to be fun.
It's also really cool seeing how people adapt things for their body preferences, or I know so many people who use mobility aids and they like blend the walking stick into the costume and things like that. I know somebody who, because she needs to use an EpiPen, she puts like a hidden patch in the thigh area of all of her costumes so you can get in. I was like, this is so smart.
Well, that's what people don't think about too, is obviously the bathroom part, that's the main thing. That's usually what most people probably think about. Stuff like that, especially medical issues. I'm gonna have to take off your suit, find out where you hid the EpiPen, and then get a part where I can actually inject you. It's I never thought about that until you just mentioned that story, and that it's I think there's a lot of things you don't think about is how easy comfort's one thing, but how easy is it to get in and out or function past just walking around and saying hello and leaning in for some pictures. So now, is there with of course AnimeCon coming up, is there any animes that you watch that you're a big fan of right now, or like a certain character or even voice actor you're excited to see that you can talk about?
Oh my, yeah. I mean, all of our cast has been announced and it's online and everything. They're all very good. Everyone's going to be hyped about Mei Hong from K-pop Demon Hunters. I'm not actually a K-pop Demon Hunters fan. I'm so sorry.
Nothing against those who are. My Ariana is not a fan of K-pop Demon Hunters either.
I think it's just, I think it's great, but it's just, the world would be a boring place if we all like the same cup of tea, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Really? So, I'm most excited, I think, for Zeno Robinson. Most people know him as Hawks in My Hero Academia. But I know him as Sethos in Genshin Impact, who is just such a cinnamon roll. So, but it's a really cool lineup. I love it. I love doing what I do. I really do. I just I know that's so cringe to say, but it's genuinely
I've
true.
Said that on the position I'm in is it's crazy to be able to do what you love, and that's considered work. And even with this is I'm going for work. Representing Polymaker, so it is going to be hectic. We talked before the show, it is going to be a very busy days and weeks and for me, but it's still hard for me to consider it work. I get to travel overseas, get to go to a con that I've never been to, get to experience all new things. And it's and with you, even though you've done cons, as we've talked, is there's new stuff every time you go. So it's just like a new experience. Like, wait, this is work. Like, it was stressful getting to this point, but wait, this is work.
Yeah, and Manchester is our first time in Manchester. That the venue is not unknown to us. We've used it for some of the other shows that the company runs, but it's the first time we're putting an AnimeCon there. There have obviously been other similar conventions at that venue, which is why that venue is being used, because people love it. There is a massive lack of big enough venues in the UK, so we all end up having to like fight over the same ones.
Gotta pick the date that whatever's left.
It's literally, and it's so stressful because then you never want to end up in August or December. Never. Like, you don't want to, but sometimes it happens and you don't get a choice. So it's really fun to be taking it there, because before it's been 3 years at Birmingham. Birmingham is still our flagship show. It's still our main one. We've just announced that we're adding Dublin in October, which is another thing to consider. We did do one in London a couple of years ago, but the problem with running events in London, and I'm from London, is there are so few event spaces. If you think about, you need probably 20 to 25,000 square feet, and you need it not to be costing you silly money.
And with it being in London, it's probably also super expensive, isn't it?
It's so expensive. Yeah. There's only really 2 venues in London you can use, and they both know it, so they can both pretty much. I think one of them, it works out £12.50 a square meter. It's about $15 a square meter. Could you imagine? Just no.
Especially trying to have if we want to have a small meet and greet, sure, but past that.
Yeah, I'll buy you 1 square meter to stand in.
And that's like kind of thing. Same thing as people have asked for years here in the U.S. is when is there going to be a West Coast Rep Rap Festival? There is open sauce stuff like that, but there's no West Coast. But it's not even getting there because there's plenty of big cities. But it's the expense, and it's so much more costly than Colorado. Obviously, Indiana is very, very cheap. I could imagine what they probably paid $20 for that venue. But and then 3D Printopia, of course, now they're in Philadelphia this year. There's the expenses, but in big places, popular places, it can get so much more expensive. So I can, especially too limited, like you said, they can make the price they want, and you're either going to pay it or not show up.
I think as well, it varies so much. I've spoken about this before with people that, like, we're also very different here in the UK, that our health and safety regs are a little bit over the top. So the money we have to pay is ridiculous. And then obviously, a lot of people that are coming to our show, they're all public transport users. Like, the UK has got a very good public transport network, which anybody who's watching this from the UK is going to be like, Bex, what are you talking about? But
the
like,
locals don't think it's as good.
No, but it's, so things like picking that venue in Manchester where the tram pulls up right outside it. One of the big places in London, the Elizabeth line goes straight through to it. Like, these are the things you have to consider, because your audience is probably between the ages of 18 and 25, which means at this day and age, they probably still live with mum and dad and don't have a car. So you have to consider all these things. And I think for most of us, our experience with event running is, oh, well, my mum and dad hired the local church hall for my 5th birthday party at 20 quid an hour. And then I know, right? And then you turn around to people now and you go, just once we've got the space, you're already looking at 60 grand. And then they go, oh, and you go, yeah, oh. And that's before I've paid the bloke who's got to stand there and make sure nobody uses the forklift truck wrong, because I've got to have one of them. It's before I've paid the fire marshal, the paramedic. Do you know what I mean? There's so much. And it's it's only when you sit this side of the table and operations shows you the bill and you're like, oh my goodness gracious. Like,
that's what I learned with Smurf was I'm working with Gwen over in our EU team. Is I think it was a PAT testing or something with electronic. If you have anything that needs to be plugged
PAT
in,
testing, yeah.
So I'm like, she sent that to me. It's like, hey, do you want to take care of this? I'm like, what the heck is this? Like, oh, you don't do it in the US? I'm like, I have no idea what PAT testing. It's like, well, they can do it on the site. I'm like, well, we're using very low power, so we should be fine. But there's like a whole extra inspection, or you have to have somebody that's qualified in doing it. It's like, yeah, so I can imagine that's just one of the many, one of the small things.
And that's the thing, is that so specific to us. So I sometimes almost get frustrated explaining to people in other countries that I'm like, you don't just phone up and go, yeah, can I have this hall on the 28th of February, 9 till 5. Yeah, can you do it for like 30 quid and a pizza? Like, it just doesn't, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I wish it did. My life would be so much
it
easier.
It would make it, a lot easier. Like, okay, so let's just order 10 pizzas. We're going to pay half the workers a pizza, the other half in beer, whatever it takes.
Yep, exactly.
So now with that, you said it's the first time in Manchester. Is there an expectation of attendees or?
Ooh, yes. We're set to completely sell out, which is a beautiful problem to have for a first year. It's much smaller than our Birmingham show because when you do a first time show, you don't want to go too big.
Yep.
But there's room to grow there. And the reason we ended up in Manchester is because we always do surveys and say to people if you could have an AnimeCon anywhere else. And it has always been Manchester, London, and then Liverpool's the other one that we get. But Liverpool's a nightmare to get to. So I'm like, no, I'm all right.
Manchester works.
Manchester works. And the response to it was fantastic. I know that Saturday is completely sold out. To the point where we're now going to be introducing a Saturday afternoon ticket. So people can still come if they really want to. Okay. But it means we're set to have around 5,000 over the weekend,
Very nice.
which we're thrilled with. We're so thrilled because when you first think you're going to do it, you're like, oh my God, if even one person buys a ticket, I'm going to be happy. And it's just
hope
been
for at least one attendee.
For sure. And it's, we've got such a wonderful team that it's taken a long time for us to get to the path where the team is now what it is. I've been there since the start. We've had quite a lot of staff changes since then. But I think we've got our like groove now. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's great.
Synergy's just right. Yeah.
So for example, when you said like, yeah, sure, Bex, I'm in, I was like, went to my operations lady and I was like, put him near me. I'll look after him. So you're literally like
I'll
opposite
make sure he
me.
doesn't lose his mind.
It'll just be me every 5 minutes being like, hi.
Yeah. Everything good? Everything good? I'm not passed out yet. You're looking a little pale.
Yeah, exactly.
Now for those, of course, as myself being new to a con overall, of course, coming to this specific con, for those that are either going to be new coming to this one or one in the future, or aren't going to come but just interested in what to expect, what is to be expected at the con, other than, of course, some tables and vendors?
Ooh, so yeah, tables and vendors are obviously a thing.
Yep.
We have vendors, but we also have Artist Alley, which is a thing that most cons now have. So that's all of our independent artists, and there, I don't know, 200 odd of them right in the middle of the venue. We've also got the main stage, which is where our voice actors will be doing their talks. We've got the creator stage, which I run, which is basically talks and panels from anybody who's a creator about a whole host of topics. I've got someone talking about looking after your mental health when you're a cosplayer, right through to someone who's doing makeup demonstrations, all that kind of thing. Next to that sits our cosplay hospital, which is my team, where if you costume breaks, or maybe, I don't know, you're bringing your kid and you don't understand how this wig is meant to stay on, just come to us. My team is absolutely incredible and I couldn't be able to do it without them. And we can repair things, sort things out like that. We also do things like, we keep contact lens cases and fluid because people will wear their contact lenses for too long and you only get one set of eyeballs, so I wouldn't recommend. We've got our silent disco tent if you fancy a little bit of a dance, so that's where I'll take you, Joel. You and me can have a little dance.
I have all the rhythm in the world.
And then we've got our community stage as well, which is where there's going to be things like idol festivals and random play dance, which is, you and I would know that as a flash mob. But it's always J-pop and K-pop, all that kind of thing. So there's lots of stuff to do, and all that sort of stuff's like around the edge of the hall, and then all of the shopping sits in like the middle. But there's so much to, I can't even, I mean, how long have I been working here and I still can't think of everything off the top of my head.
Do you do like the voice actors and anybody involved in like the industry? Do they do like meet and greets and autographs and things?
So the whole weekend they're there to they're all like at little tables, and you queue up and you can buy autographs, selfies, things like that. We have a very different, I've noticed this from when I have done a few cons in overseas, we have a very different culture here. So our lot here won't spend silly money on a signature. So, you know, like you sometimes see these cons and they'll get Chris Evans and it's $500. No one here is going to do that. They're going to be like, no, I'm all right. We tend to get the more who want selfies. And obviously, because a lot of them are voice actors, they often have prices on the day if you want them to maybe record you a video message.
In that voice.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess makes a lot more sense. That's what they're known for. It'd be cool to get the selfie, but to have my voicemail say, thank you for calling, this is Joel, and it's K-pop Demon Hunters or whoever it might be. That's actually pretty neat.
So they're there for the whole weekend, and obviously their talk is more to sit and listen to them talk about their career and usually open up the floor to questions and things like that. But otherwise, you can queue up and go and see them, and they're always lovely, so lovely. They're very. You have to remember they're normal people too.
Yep, exactly.
You're probably also freaking out because they're in the UK for the first time and are like, "What am I doing?
Where am I? What's going on here? Why are there bees everywhere?"
Exactly.
So now, of course, with you personally on the 3D printing part of things, is you started cosplay, like you said, when you're 15. That was, as you said, straws and foam and sewing and everything else, paper mache. Is 3D printing is something that you just recently got into, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Only like a year ago.
I know we've talked about it before. And when I first met you at Murph, heck now, almost two.
It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2.5 years ago. Yeah.
So
and I bought you a slice of cake. That's how we met. I was like, "You want cake?"
Yeah, I'm like, cake and Murph. Why not? As I said, tell everybody is I take snacks as bribes any time of the day. But so at that point too, like I said, I know you were interested in 3D printing, just hadn't gotten a printer yet. But you've recently got one. I think was a Bamboo.
Yeah, he's over there. His name's Barry. I love him. He's like my child. Even my mom has no creative background. My mom's a dentist, and so nothing creative. If it's running, the amount of time she's come in with like a cup of tea and she's just sat there and watched it, she's like,
seeing what it's creating.
It's so clever, isn't it? It's so clever. I'm like, yeah, I know.
That's why I've wanted one for so long. So now, has with that, obviously, I'm sure there's some cosplay stuff you've printed. Is there anything that you've created that has been on that just project list to do that you can finally do with the 3D printer?
Ooh. There's definitely, it made me a lot more autonomous, because before I was having to use a printer in Canada and bring everything back in a suitcase, which I did get my bag searched on several occasions, and I'm not entirely sure if it was that. But it's definitely nice to do things like when I did the ornaments for Genshin Prom, or just I made my own bowl. I'm so smart. Look, it's a jelly bean. Everyone says it looks like a kid. Up, it's a jelly bean.
It's a BexiBeans. What are you talking about?
It's a BexiBean, and like as you can see, this has got my pins in, and I've got one that's got my embroidery threads in. I'm just things where I'm like
stuff.
Yeah, and it no longer has to be this thing of like, I want to do this. I'm going to plan this in advance. Make sure I've got enough space in my suitcase, because British Airways has only got a limit. It's got a limit.
Logistics is a little bit more difficult that way.
Whereas now I'm just sat there and I go, "Oh, cool, print!" Like.
Now it's just more of what color do I print in? What do I have here?
I've literally only got 3 colors at the moment, because we don't. This is the thing, Joel. We don't get all the cool Polymaker discounts in the UK. We're forced and restrained.
As I tell everybody, with anything we don't do or don't have yet, you don't yet.
But I'm literally just sat there like, okay, and now I'm calculating how much cake I need to bring Joel to Manchester to be like, I will swap you.
1 pound of cake for 1 pound of filament, right? It's just an easy equation. It's
definitely been really cool, and just like even little things. Like I opened a bag of marshmallows and I was like, I need a clip for this to make a world.
Yep. Oh, I've done that.
I've just stopped doing it
and everything else nonstop.
Yeah.
So
and I just I got to everyone and I'm like, look at my little chip clip.
Like, okay, like it's 3D printed. Okay, it's cool. Okay. Yeah. That's I think it's with mine, between friends and family that come over, it's a 50-50 mix of like, if I'm showing off prints. Now, if I show them the workshop and everything else, it's like, oh, holy crap, this is really neat. But it depends on if it's something simple like a clip, like you don't think, oh wow, what's so exciting about a little tiny clip? It's usually not too interested. But if it's like a multicolor thing, or I've got behind me is Hey Hey from Moana.
Oh
that stuff gets the likes. But any of the other stuff that I think it's super simple, what I think is awesome, like, look, I was able to print this. It's a clip. Who cares? Like, it's just neat. They don't understand.
Oh, I know. It's luckily most of the people around me are like, oh yeah, that's really cool. And I think one of the things that I've noticed, which you know, mild self plug here, if you're coming to Smurf, I am doing a talk about how 3D printing has changed cosplay, which is literally 20 minutes of me going, so back in my day. and
That's
talking about
to go back and forth, yeah.
And it's definitely a thing as well where, like, when I first saw 3D printing, all I saw was like layer lines you could see from the moon. And I was like, how the this is
that looks
what's
horrible.
this? That's rubbish. Why would you be doing that? And then it's like, then you see it now, and I think it's become so much more accessible now. You know, even just things from, I mean, things like the Bamboo A1 Mini are affordable. You can put it on, I don't know if it's the same for every country, but like here you can put it on like one of those pay in 3 things.
I think they have a Firm or PayPal or something.
Yeah. And so because of that, it's become a lot more accessible. So people are no longer just going, oh gosh, like now I don't know what to do with this. Yeah, and a bit like, at least you same for the ornaments for Genshin Prom. It was like, okay, well I have a printer, I can do a thing now. I've literally had a message from a friend who's doing a competition at their con, and she was like, do you wanna print me a little trophy? I'm like, yeah, I got you, babes.
Yep. And that's just amazing too. It's just the things that can come up, and whether it be a simple bag clip or a trophy for you know, a specific con or event is it's fun. Now with the cosplay side of things, when you print, are you a finisher to where you sand it, clean it all up, paint it, or does it depend on the model?
Oh, I have mainly only done printing cos PLA and paint it. Even I've got them here. These ornaments I made for the prom, they were actually all cos PLA, these ones. And they're all just painted.
I showed those off on the
you did. I was like, oh my god. And these are, I know you were like, I don't know anything about Genshin. But these, if you know cool. Genshin, and they hang. I'm gonna take these to Smurf as well and hang them. I've also got things like this was printed by a friend of mine because it had to be printed on a Delta. This is the top piece of my spear, which is taller than me.
So how many pieces is that?
So this one, there's one there, there's one there, there's one there, and there's one there, and then there's the pole bit and the end. I need to just do some clever maths with it to swap it with Dangerous Ladies make like a screw joint. So because otherwise this is not going to go in my car. I need to take this to Smurf me. This is the Vortex Vanquisher from Genshin Impact. There's a theme. I like Genshin Impact. But yeah, it's always been cos PLA and then paint and finish. I think nearly everything that I've done is that. I think the only thing I can think of that wasn't that is when I did the Maleficent stuff. The staff itself was cos PLA and the egg was the silk chameleon, you know, the jewel green and blue. Yeah, so then when she's holding it, it looks so
color
cool.
shift and sheen to it.
But otherwise, it's mainly there's a couple of the times I've used luminous blue, like as itself when I want like a glow in the dark part. I'm terrible for a glow in the dark. I've got I did have a bunch of your NyQuil rainbow, and I had to leave it in Canada, and I'm so sad. I love that one, but it's like, oh my gosh, if it glows in the dark, I'm in.
And that's what I loved about the luminous rainbow when it came out. It was number one, that was it was a rainbow color, so it was cool. It was multiple colors, but then the glow that it has, especially if you charge it with UV, it looks. The first time I turned the lights off, I was like, okay, this is awesome. And then I started printing it. I think I went through 3 spools rather quickly, chewed up the PTFE tubes a little bit since it's a bit abrasive, but it was worth it. I have actually a winged dragon hanging in my workshop, a collapsible sword. I think I made a scientist. I made a ton of stuff with it, but that's why Nycor is part of the name on the website, because Nick got bored one day. But so now of course you do the glow in the dark. You get certain effects with all the cosplay stuff. Or any of these going to be? Do you do them just for yourself, or do you do them for the cons too? Just kind of display. I mean, do you guys even have like a table at your own con? I don't know how that works.
So I do. The cosplay hospital is like a whole section.
Okay.
I know that before we've displayed a few things, like some of the wigs that my team have built, because one of my team, Ivy, she can do those wigs that are like helmets. So we've had some stuff on display. The main problem has been the amount of stuff I have to take up is like there's no more room in the car.
You need a bigger vehicle.
I borrow my mum's car, so I've got a slightly bigger car, but we're only talking a Vauxhall Astra. We're not talking like a bus. Like, so whereas that I am doing some stuff for Smurf, which will be for Smurf, because it's like, this is my chance to do something. I'm still there obviously for AnimeCon, because we've done this amazing collaboration with them where we're having a Zen Den at our show, which is like our quiet space, and it's all in their honor. And then they're having us, and I'm doing a talk, and so that one I will have more like cosplay things. But when it comes to AnimeCon, you'll also notice very rapidly the difference in, you know, you saw me at Murph and I was just chilling, and then you'll see me at Manchester and you're like, there goes Bexy in a blur.
What was that flash of light?
Yeah, exactly. So I sometimes make things for friends as well. Like some of my best friends, just odd bits and pieces where I'm like, oh, here you go, I saw this and thought of you. And, you know, they always love it because people love handmade things. Like, I know that it's not handmade in the sense
it's still custom, but it's one of a kind. No matter what you print, it's a one of a kind, even if you print
and also I think the other thing is, you know, when I was talking about like recycling and stuff, like a lot of us are a bit more like, I don't really want to keep buying plastic stuff from AliExpress. It's like, if you're printing it yourself, you're sort of just closing that loop a little bit more, I feel.
Yeah, and I think at that point too, especially as gifts, is it's a little more personal. It's like you said, even though it's not handmade, you still did make it. You came up with the idea or found an awesome design. But no, I think now, of course, you got your printer, I think, just in time. Were you able to do some Christmas gifts?
So I didn't, because my Christmas was chaos. I did, what did I do? Oh my gosh. I think I did 1 or 2 things for my mum, but my mum just keeps complaining that I don't have pink. And I'm like, well, buy me some pink then, Deborah. I don't know what you want from me. Like, do you know what I mean? I can't just magic pink. I did a couple of things for friends. Like, a couple of my friends were like, oh, this accessory broke on my costume. And I'm like, to make a world.
I got you.
And then they just like, I turn up and I'm like, oh yeah, you know, you said this thing was broken.
And it's amazing too what you can find on Make-A-World of just whether it be a really old toy that has a part that breaks often, or buttons, pieces, clasps, I mean, whatever you can. It's the amount of access we have to files is ridiculous at this point.
I did do a couple of cookie cutters because I saw some friends before just before Christmas when I was away, and I did some cookie cutters so we could make gingerbread, and of course they didn't turn out looking anything like the cutters because
it is always
they were so cursed.
Shaped cookie cutters, because of course, you know, the cookie cutter, you can tell it's this character, it's this shape, whatever, and it's always fun to see just how out there does the cookie get, you know, the expansion.
It was also it was a gluten-free recipe, and of course that bakes completely differently, and they came out and I was like, oh yeah.
Does anybody know what this is? Like, no, it looks like you just threw some batter onto a cookie sheet and
they tasted great.
And in the end, that is what matters the most. It's and it makes for a fun story when somebody's trying to guess, you know, who's that Pokemon? It's, who's that cookie? Like, I don't know. Is it a face? Is it a blob? But,
yeah, exactly. I think the only thing I really did in time for Christmas is I was out in Canada for a few days in Christmas, and I had some help doing little aeroplane keychains because my flight home was on New Year's Eve. So I gave the British Airways crew little planes that were white, you know, red, white, and blue. Awesome. And they loved it. They were like, if it wasn't a full flight, we totally would have upgraded you. And I was like, damn.
Okay, so keep in mind, airplane keychains, opening in first class might get you there.
Exactly. They gave me the little, you know, they give you those little toiletry kits if you're really posh. And obviously British Airways is like super bougie in first class, right? They did bring me one of the little things. And I'm just like, I walk around with it. I'm like, yeah, first class. I'm so great.
I've got one of these. Did you get one of these? Oh, of course you didn't.
And it was really cool to give something to them. They get chocolates all the time, right? And then they were like, oh my God. And they all put them on their lanyards. So they're doing this down the cabin and there's like this little plane. And I'm like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's just something different. Like I said, it's one of those things. It's unique. It's, you know, chocolate money as some of the TikTokers do, but also a lot of cool, but
yeah, and but also a lot of people here, like my mum and stuff, like 3D printing isn't seen as frequently here, I don't think. So there's still that novelty when you give somebody something 3D printed, and they're like, they want to know how the machine works, how you did it, like what do you have to do to make this happen? And
you know, even as mainstream as it's gotten and accessible that it's gotten, it's still I don't even know the number. I'm sure there's a statistic out there. Is there's still a huge percent of people that maybe either they don't know about 3D printing or don't understand it, or never really seen or messed with anything that's been 3D printed. So yeah, no, there's I take flexis with me everywhere I go. So when I travel, it's usually if it's kids or whatnot at the airport, I'll give it to them. And the amount of parents that are just fascinated and asking questions, the kids are just excited to get something. The parents are like, wait, is that, you said it's 3D printed? Like, yeah, like, wait, so wait, like, do you glue it or how's that? Like, no, it's not glued.
Yeah.
How does that? And the amount of conversations I've had just handing out a little flexi. And now my daughter has done the same thing as Nora, my youngest, is she has a bag of flexis that she takes around. Like, we just went to a volleyball tournament for Ariana and do basketball tournaments, and she'll take, of course, the new friends she meets, but then she'll just go around and pass them out. And it's funny because she comes back at the volleyball tournament. Me and my wife were sitting at the bench, and she came back and she was running out, so I took some out of my backpack. And she's like, "Yeah, a guy asked me if I would take $1 for him," and I said I said no, because you can't sell them. Obviously you just give them away.
Yeah.
Like, so did you give him one though? No. Like, we'll go. Do you remember where he's at? I think so. Like, go give him one. Like, she's like, he just kind of ignored him, brushed him off. Like, no, I don't want to take your $1. See you later. But no, it's just it's like I said, it creates conversation. If it can make one person smile for the day, those few prints that I did and threw in my backpack, worth it. So I think that's an excellent idea. I've never thought about bribing the airlines. Yeah, I'm gonna be first class.
You might want to consider that for your 10-hour flight over here.
I think 12 hour, 13 hour. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to the shorter flight from Manchester to Amsterdam, because I'm told I might receive a stroopwafel on the airplane.
Really? I didn't know this was a thing.
KLM, maybe.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm with you.
So, I'm like, that's what Gwen told me. She's like, oh, you might get a stroopwafel. I'm like, sweet, I like stroopwafels. So maybe I'll take some extra prints and get 2 stroopwafels.
Or like somebody must have done it. Somebody like Bearded Printer must have done a floppy stroopwafel, surely. I just
if not me, I need to commission them for one. Like, dude, just real quick. I mean, I'm sure a stroopwafel can't take too much. It's a circle with a grid pattern, I guess. But
so great. I love it. I love a good stroopwafel.
Yep, there we go. And now I might take you up on that idea and see what it gets me. Worst case, it just gets me kicked off the plane, right?
Yeah, and then I get a message from you going, thanks for that, and just like a really grumpy face at the airport.
With a picture of security and handcuffs. Hopefully it's not that bad, but no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm very excited. Appreciate the invite for Polymaker. I think it'll be a start to a fun partnership. I foresee it being really awesome, like I said, and it's just, we have some other materials coming out that I wish we could show off at the con, but next year we'll have some stuff, and just that'll be really a real good fit in for cosplay and stuff like that. That's 100%. About as much as I can say on that, but other than that, I'd like to end things off with some rapid fire questions, and then I'll give you the stage to promote all the socials, the websites, etc. First 2 questions always the same. First one, what is your favorite color, filament, or surface effect? And it does not have to be Polymaker.
It's got to be Celestial. 100%.
I figured that was going to be. I've
Celestial
seen
blue.
The minis. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it almost matches your hoodie, right?
I know. So you can buy this at a con, guys. Yeah, exactly. She got like everything. We've even got, look, do you want a cool coffee cup as well?
Very nice.
Even if you tap the lid, it tells you the temperature of the drink inside. No, I don't know why you need that.
That is bougie. That way you know it's too hot or not.
Exactly. You'll get one of them because you're an exhibitor, by the way. So yes.
I don't have to bribe you with 3D printed stuff.
No, you're good. You don't have to bribe me with anything. You're turning up and I love you, so you're fine.
Fair. And then the next question, of course, now that you've been printing, not for super long, so this might be a little bit easier question for you, is of everything you've printed so far, what is the one print that you're most proud of?
Oh, that's a really good question. I feel like it's going to be the ornaments, the Genshin ornaments. Just they looked so good that night in the light up hoops, and the amount of people. For those of you who don't know Genshin, what they are is the case is the region the character is from, and the gem is the power they have. So there's lots and lots of variations on them. So I had people coming up to me all night being like, So can you make me one of those?
Yeah.
And I'm
Well,
like,
that's the thing is
yeah.
like I don't know Genshin Impact at all, and not knowing it, I thought they were cool. Like I said, when I saw them in the Discord, so I can imagine what a fan would be like. This is really cool because I thought it was cool, not knowing what it was.
Yeah, some people were like, "Can I just buy one from you?" And I was like, "No, I need these. These are my babies."
Yeah, these are mine. You can get a 3D printer. Use my referral link.
Yeah,
You can just start selling it that way.
I was like, guys, I need to do some sweet content so then I can look at Joel and go, so about that sponsorship, bestie.
I've got some ideas. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of creative stuff you come up with, especially at these cons and different ways to connect that. So definitely excited. Last question is, which I think we already know this, but maybe I'll split it into two questions. First one, AnimeCon, it's anime. What is your current favorite anime?
Ooh, probably My Happy Marriage, because it's just so cute and lovely, and I want someone to marry me.
Them, but
it's a typical, easy watch. Guy meets girl thinks she's not good enough for him. He's like, you're totally good enough for me, babes, and we all sit there crying into a tub of Ben and Jerry's like, I wish I had that in my life.
Yeah, so just a good romance anime.
Yeah, love that.
So now then, with of course that being the favorite current, what is overall out of all the animes that you've watched, we're gonna split this into two further questions. First one, your favorite ever, your top anime to date.
Oh, Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon, okay. And then the second part will be for those that have not gotten into anime, maybe they've seen an episode of this or that. What would be the one anime you would recommend is a good starting point? Like you should go watch this, and this will kind of get your toes wet.
So I know a lot of people would say something like Jujutsu Kaisen or My Hero Academia. I would personally say it'd be very tight choice between Vinland Saga and Hunter x Hunter. It's cursed, but it's great.
Hunter x Hunter I've heard of, the other one I have not, so maybe I'll have to look
into
it. Because I'm not against anime. I've just never watched. I've seen some episodes here and there, but
also, Joel, I'm not being funny. When do you or I ever have time?
This is also true. On my 10-hour flight to 12-hour flight to UK, but even then I'm just using catching up work, so that way I can not have to get right into it. So
I just imagining you watching Sailor Moon on the plane, getting to the UK, meeting up with me, and you'll be like, I am Sailor Mercury.
I'm already all dressed up and everything. That's what you don't know. I'm cosplaying as Sailor Moon at our Polymaker booth at AnimeCon. There's the spoiler.
You should be Sailor Polymaker. It'd be amazing.
I'm sure it would look great. So real quick too, so I'm going to give you the stage, websites where people can follow you personally. I'm also, of course, AnimeCon, and then just information on the con. When is it?
Okay, so you can find me online as BexiBeans. I don't do anything really on social media. I'm like a bit of an old lady. Twitch is the best place to catch me when I have time to stream. Who is she?
Here and there. No such
never
schedule.
heard of her. So I should be fitting some things in before AnimeCon. The website is animeconuk.com. I know that the lovely Pezliz will put it in the chat because she's a gem. And that will have the information for Manchester and Birmingham. Manchester is the 28th of February and the 1st of March. And our Birmingham show is the 12th to the 14th of June. And our Dublin show is the 17th to the 18th of October. So I guess I'll see you in November when I actually stop.
Maybe. Unless something comes up by that time, which I'm sure it will. But if not, it'll just be prep for the next Manchester event.
Literally.
Well, awesome. Well, I greatly appreciate you coming on the show. I look forward to coming to the UK for the first time, a con for the first time, a lot of firsts for me. So and also a first time for my Streamlabs app crashing like it just did. That's why there was a weird cut there to the viewers. But that's why we treat everything as alive as it is. So either way, I appreciate you hanging around. To work through that.
I was literally just gonna say to you, like, I am so honored to be like your first visit to the UK. I feel like there's a lot of pressure as well, but I promise I'll look after you because I adore you. and
very
you will
much
you'll be
appreciate
safe.
it.
So
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. I'm actually going to let you go this time, and you have yourself a wonderful night, and I will see you very soon.
see you soon. Bye.
See you later. And there you guys have it. little mashup right there as I was saying the first of everything, and then boom, just the whole app crashed. So that little cut there was that. Other than that, you, of course, if you haven't figured out by now, this is not a live show. This is a pre-record. Thank you very much for Bexy rearranging her schedule for it. She's actually scheduled to be on a live show. I always prefer live shows for all the guests. But had some things come up to where I cannot be here, and she was a doll, was able to change things around just to be able to do this pre-recording. So much thanks to her. Make sure to go show her some support. And if you're in the UK area, AnimeCon is coming up very soon in like 3 weeks. So be prepared, swing out, even if you're not into anime. Like I said, I'm very interested in seeing everything there, being inspired by some people's creations, their creativity. And I'm truly very excited to come to the con and just to really experience it for the first time. So if you're out there, check it out. If you're not, might do a live stream. It's going to be very limited. I'll be the only one at the booth. So I'll see what I can get done there. Past that, if there's something that you guys would like to see, you want pictures of or whatnot, let me know. I'll do my best to get that for you. But we do have a couple projects still in the works right now before anything new is started. And that is, first up, Polymaker Labs. That's !PML in chat. And that is Sean, who is the host as the Polymaker scientist, giving you tips, tricks, and troubleshooting in nice short form, fun videos. That are also, then that information is available on our wiki at !wiki, or if you just type in wiki.polymaker.com. Pretty simple there. We go show him the support there. He's over on TikTok doing those quite often. So lots of information to take in, but lots of fun information to share if you don't need it yourself. And second up, we have !IPC, and that is Pezliz over at twitch.tv/Pezliz, and she does in-printing color. Show sponsored by us here at Polymaker, showing off new materials, new colors, service effects, existing products in cool new ways. So plenty of stuff there. That is on Wednesdays on Twitch. And she also does Pezliz Presents, typically on Saturdays, sometimes Sunday, where she is building up our designer portfolio to allow us to have access to amazing models from awesome designers, and introducing them to us and us to them, and working together to have great new ways to showcase our new filaments coming out. In just really awesome ways, and then of course giving them some exposure. So if you see something on the website, ideally if it's something that a designer has made and it's not an in-house model, you'll be able to go find it, download it, print it yourself. And sometimes she's doing designer interviews, sometimes just going over the designer's portfolio of all the models that they have done. So check her out there. Other than that, we do community chat on Tuesdays, typically 7 p.m., sometimes 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. But we are here every single week on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern for Meet the Polymaker. 5 p.m. Prior to that on Thursday is also feedback hour with Sean. But we'd love to come hang out with us in the community chat. If you just want to kind of laid back, see what I'm working on, what you guys can possibly help out with. If you want to just kind of be part of some really cool projects, definitely cool opportunities, and sometimes some inside information. I might leak a thing here or there, enough to not get me fired, but appreciate all your support no matter which streams that you make it to. And again, if you guys want to come back, we're going to be here next Tuesday, and then next Thursday for Meet the Polymaker. We're 3 episodes away from 104, and the reason that's a cool number is that's 2 years consecutive of this show not missing a beat, being sometimes having some technical difficulties, but there's been a show every single Thursday, and that is only due to you guys, the amazing community for your support, and also the amazing community that's turned into makers, turned into project leads or employees of places to where I've been able to pull you in as a maker, and then just talk shop and then see what's got you into everything, and what you're doing now, and what's in store for the future. So lots more to come, many more guests to have. So appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderful night, a wonderful weekend, a wonderful week. Go show some love to another creator that is out there making, whether it be 3D printing or not. Since this is not live, I cannot take you over somewhere. So Thank you very much, everybody, and we will catch you next time.